Hey guys, it's Allie, and today I'm feeding your craving for, yes, of course, another tag. This tag was originally created by Sam's Nonsense, so I will leave their original video down below, but the reason why I found this particular tag was because of Noria, so I will leave her video linked below as well. Even though she didn't tag me, I have tagged myself, and I just think it is a super cute, super cozy little book tag, and it is highly relevant to me, some of these answers right now, so I thought that it would be a perfect one to have for you guys today. So, that said, let's get into these questions. Question 1, anticipation. The Christmas excitement is real. What book release or releases are you most anticipating? I'm going to answer with 2 for this one. Firstly, Hank Green just recently announced the sequel to An Absolutely Remarkable Thing, which, as many of you guys know if you have watched my videos, is one of my favorite books of all time. So I am super excited for that new book in the series to come out. I'm so excited for that one. But also recently, I read Aurora Rising by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. They are also the co-authors of the Illuminae Files, which is probably my favorite sci-fi series of all time. So I am super excited for that next book in the series to come out next summer. Number 2 is Christmas songs and carols. What book or author can you not help but sing its praises? Honestly, same answers. I think Hank Green is just so awesome. I love his particular writing voice that he has. It's so uniquely him, and I know that it's not everybody's favorite cup of tea, but I just think it brings something new to the table, and I think it works so particularly perfect with the particular book that he's written. With An Absolutely Remarkable Thing, the way that his voice comes through in that story is so perfect for the subject matter of that story, if that makes sense. And also, again, same answer, Jay Kristoff. I have read a lot of Jay Kristoff lately. The first thing I ever read by him was the Illuminae Files that he co-wrote with Amy Kaufman, and I just recently read Lifelike this past year, in addition to just very recently reading Nevernight, and now reading Aurora Rising, again, that he co-authored with Amy Kaufman. So Amy Kaufman, I have not actually read anything written just by her. That is another thing that I want to do in the new year. At least I don't think I've read anything just by her. But she is obviously very talented as well, because they co-wrote 2 of my favorite sci-fi book series ever. So other than that, other authors that I just really love are V.E. Schwab and Leigh Bardugo. I feel like they are just kind of unproblematic faves as far as I am currently aware, and they just are really nice authors to look up to as a fellow writer. I don't think I was supposed to do multiples for that one, but I did, and now you have it, so there you are. Number 3 is gingerbread houses. What book or series has wonderful world building? This might be because I just recently finished this series, so it is fresh in my mind, but it is also a good answer, so I'm going to give it anyway, and that is the Nevernight trilogy by Jay Kristoff. I'm mentioning Jay Kristoff a lot in these answers, as you can tell, but I think that the granular world building in that is so awesome. Granular world building, for those of you who don't know, is just a type of world building that gets down into really the grains of what makes up the world. So Jay Kristoff uses footnotes to explore aspects of the world that are not necessarily entirely relevant to the story. So usually in world building, when you are trying to craft a world, you focus mostly, first and foremost, on the things that are going to directly impact your characters or their environments, so on and so forth, and anything else is just kind of flavor text. And that can be great, and that's all you need. Anything more than that can start to bog down the story, but Jay Kristoff in Nevernight, he is a big fan of granular world building. He likes to know the tiny little details of the society, individuals that our characters are never going to meet and never are going to mention in the story, but they still exist in the world as far as the story and the storyteller is concerned. So by using footnotes, he was able to give himself and nerds like me a chance to get into the nitty-gritty of the world building by also giving readers who just wanted to kind of casually go through the story a chance to avoid that aspect of world building. So I think that was a really smart way to do it, and I think it was a really interesting way to pull it off considering the context and the mode of that story. And so, yeah, that is a very good example of world building that I just absolutely love. Number 4 is A Christmas Carol. Favorite classic or one that you want to read? This is a kind of hard question to answer because it really depends on what your definition of a classic is. So, like, in my mind, A classic is just kind of anything that I read in college or high school as far as English classes were concerned. So in that context, my favorite classic of all time is Hamlet. But Hamlet is also a play, it's not a book. So if you take that out of the running, then my favorite book that I ever read for school was probably A Separate Piece. But that's not really a classic in terms of it's not in everybody's like list of things that they have to read in high school. So if you're talking specifically about books that are kind of in the canon and specifically classical books that a lot of people have to read in their day, then probably Frankenstein or Crime and Punishment. Notice how I found a sneaky way to answer that question with 4 books instead of 1. Number 5 is Christmas Sweets. What book would you love to receive for Christmas? I did ask for the Nevernight trilogy for Christmas because while I do have them on ebook, if I really connect with a book, I want to have it in a physical copy. So a lot of the books that I actually have and I physically own are either books that were given to me as gifts or they are books that I have purchased for myself or have gotten as gifts after the fact, after already reading them in some other form, whether it be audiobook or ebook or something that is more digital and not physical right in front of you. I really love rereading all of those favorite books of mine, and rereading a book through audiobook is kind of difficult. And while I could just as easily reread the Nevernight trilogy through ebook, I just like having the physical copy in my hands, and so that's all I can really say about that. So that is definitely one that I would love to have in my hands. Number 6 is Candles in the Window. What book gives you a warm and fuzzy feeling? I'm gonna answer this one with multiples again. So the first one that comes to mind is Geekerella because it is my kind of just cutesy, cheesy contemporary, and I love how it brings in the geek culture that I consider myself a part of. So that is definitely one that gives me the warm and fuzzies. In addition to that, I really like the Good Morning and Good Night book by Lin-Manuel Miranda, which is based on all of the tweets that he posts in the morning and the night. It is one of the best things on Twitter, if not the best thing on Twitter, and that's not saying a ton for Twitter, but it's still good. It's still great. And so that is definitely one that gives me the warm and fuzzies as well. And as my third answer to that question, I would have to go with any of the Harry Potter books in terms of just looking at them and getting this feeling of just kind of warmth, like you're sitting in the Gryffindor common room kind of feeling. So that is definitely one that I always look at, and it just gives you that kind of warm and cozy feeling, especially because when you have the like original covers and stuff, they're all very warm toned except for, you know, like Half-Blood Prince and stuff. So they just already give you this kind of warm energy coming off of them, plus the fact that they are like my childhood. So that is going to be my third answer, once again, when I was only asked for one. Number 7 is Christmas Trees and Decorations. What are some of your favorite book covers? The first covers that come to mind are the same as I just answered, which is the Harry Potter series. I just love the nostalgia that I get from looking at those books, and I love the artistic rendering on the front and all of the drawings and all of that stuff. I just find it very nostalgic, and I just love it a lot. And that's kind of a theme with me. Honestly, my favorite covers come from being my favorite books and not really the other way around. So I love the Strange the Dreamer cover. I love the cover for An Absolutely Remarkable Thing. I absolutely adore those covers, and I can't really tell you one way for certain if I love those covers just because I think they're cool, or if I love those covers because I love those books. So pretty much if there's a book that I've loved, I love the cover for it. But one that I definitely really just love so much and think is so interesting and unique is the Illuminae Files covers, because they are kind of their own little puzzle. They take some quotes from the actual book and have them like written, scrawled on the actual cover, and things are blacked out and all of that stuff, things are highlighted, and it just perfectly represents what the vibe of the book is and gives you the sense of this kind of sci-fi adventure you're about to go on all through these documents that it's taking you through. So that is probably one that I definitely, before even reading the book, I was like, that is a dope cover. So there is one distinct answer for you, is any of the Illuminae Files. They have some of the coolest freaking covers I've ever seen anywhere. It's just a bonus that I really enjoy the books as well. And finally, number 8 is Christmas Joy. What are some of your favorite things about Christmas and or some of your favorite Christmas memories? So I am privileged enough to live, 1, very close to my family, and 2, to share a very happy and healthy relationship with my family. So the Christmas time spirit is one that I very much gravitate towards because it is focused around family and traditions for me. I totally understand and appreciate that that is not the case for a lot of people, especially in this day and age, and the Christmas season and the Christmas holiday can be very difficult for a lot of people, and I just count myself extremely lucky that I happen to be in the percentile that just is able to share very happy memories with my family around this time of year. So that is the one thing for me, is doing that. And as far as Christmas memories go, random traditions, some of them that are really deep and meaningful to my family, and then other ones that are just, you know, they just happened and we do them anyway. My dad is still trying to start the Christmas tradition of opening one present on Christmas Eve night. He has not yet managed to, in all of the years that I've been alive, make that an actual tradition. There are just a lot of things around Christmas time that just really are my cup of tea, and I also just love the cozy, cool weather. I am definitely a fall girl at heart. It is my favorite season of all, but I live in Florida, so we're definitely not getting any white Christmases down here, but it is still getting a little bit chillier, a little bit colder, and I actually walked outside this morning and felt a breeze. So I'm super excited about the kind of cooler weather as well, hot chocolate, all of that stuff. So that is probably my favorite thing about the Christmas time spirit. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really enjoy these tags, and after I saw Noria do this one, I just thought it was so cute and cozy and Christmassy, and I wanted to go ahead and share those with you, especially because a lot of my answers to these questions are coming from books that I've read very recently or reread very recently, as the case may be. And so I wanted to use this opportunity to not only answer the questions, but to recommend some books to you, because these have definitely been the books that I have really loved in not only the past year, but even in the past month. As usual, since I was not tagged in this video myself, I'm not going to be tagging anybody in particular, but please do feel free to follow in my footsteps and tag yourself in just about everything. And I look forward to seeing your videos as well if you guys decide to make this tag. Consider yourself tagged by me. I would love to watch your videos. So without further ado, that is going to be it for me this week. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, give this video a like. And if you like my content, do subscribe. I make videos every Wednesday and Friday for the most part. And I will see you guys in the next one.